Hey everyone, this is Tom from VermiBag. After last week's results, I've decided to go ahead and change what I'm doing here. It was really apparent that I wasn't going to be able to continue to feed all three systems exactly the same because what I'm feeding is really moist, wet material, and the urban worm bag just can't take that type of moisture. So rather than change the type of feeding or try and take moisture out of it or add additional dry bedding to the urban worm bag, I'm going to go ahead and just continue on with the VermiBag Max and the VermiBag Mini. And I mean, really that was part of my initial, what I really wanted to do. I'm actually curious myself, the difference between the Max and the Mini, if I push the systems, how much, what kind of worm capacity they can have. So I'm going to continue on this week with 3.5 pound feeding basically in each of the systems, and we'll go from there and keep ramping it up as the worm population starts to grow in these bags. So I'll go ahead and show you the food. So I have 3 pounds 7 ounces that I'm going to put in each one of the systems. And this is just a bunch of squash and broccoli and miscellaneous greens. But it's all, definitely very moist material. I didn't drain this at all. So I'm going to dump those directly into the VermiBag Max and the VermiBag Mini. And I think last week we put 2.5 pounds. So we're going to add basically almost another additional pound into each of these systems. And see how, again, same thing, we're going to put just a little bit of bedding in them and then add the material in. Let's take a look inside of each of these and see what they look like right now after 9 days with the previous feeding. So the Max right out the bat, and no condensation of course, and I definitely haven't had any climbers on here, it doesn't look like. As far as the material, kind of the same thing, it looks really nice. It's moist, but it's not too wet this time. It's actually dried out a little bit, it feels like. Material, food, I don't see any food scraps at all in here. I definitely went through the food scraps. The worms look really good. So, yeah, I mean this is nice and moist, but not overly wet actually. It's just a tiny little bit wetter than I would want, but not bad really. So let's take a look at the Mini. The Mini here again, nothing's been climbing at all. The material looks well worked over. I got some paper towels that I'd thrown in there that were part of the feeding that they didn't eat, but and this again is just, it's about perfect actually on moisture. It's not overly moist. I don't see any food in here as well. The worms look really good. Yeah, actually, this is actually really nice. And the only thing that was left over is a paper towel, basically. So, okay, so here's the 3.5 pounds I'm putting into the Max. I put 2 big handfuls of shredded cardboard and newspaper in the bottom. This one looks a little bit bigger than the Mini. Same amount of food, it just looks bigger in here. And same thing, a couple handfuls of shredded cardboard and shredded paper. And then on top of each of these, I'm just going to go ahead and mix one container of my pre-made bedding that I make. And I'll mix it in with this and then just kind of even it out over the top and mix the bedding in with it. So I'll show you when I get done. Okay, here's the VermiBag Mini after I added the moist bedding on. And here's the VermiBag Max. So we'll let these go a week and we'll see what they look like.